Good evening. A man from Hull who was falsely accused of abusing his ex-partner says going to prison for a crime he didn't commit was the lowest point of his life. Ryan Kerrison spent 56 days on remand in prison after his partner claimed he had subjected her to months of domestic abuse. Last year, she was jailed for almost 4 years for lying about those events. Kevin Shoesmith has this report.
He can't even bring himself to say her name.
I call her the perpetrator due to the fact that her face, her name can be quite triggering to me. I felt like I wouldn't be believed for the simple fact that I'm a 6-foot man and the perpetrator was a 4-foot-11 female. And I do believe if it was the other way around, things might have been different.
They had a young child together, but when the relationship ended, the allegations started.
She set out to destroy my life out of spite, jealousy that I was trying to move on in my life, and more predominantly to take away all access, all rights as a father, to stop me seeing my child. It started off pretty simple, harassment, throwing stones at the windows, kicking the door in, up until the point where it became really serious, where she accused me of firearms, going to her house, throwing her down the stairs, putting a gun to her head.
Ryan was given a 2-year restraining order, which Kirsty Barr alleged he breached, resulting in him spending 2 months on remand in prison. To the wider world, he was a monster, an abuser.
It was shocking, absolutely shocking. Because I was a victim, I didn't deserve to be there. I felt frustrated that I was confined into a prison cell every day. I felt like there was no way out. I lost all my freedom, I lost all my liberty, I lost everything that mattered to me.
4 months after being released from prison, Ryan found himself being arrested again, this time by armed police, after his former partner alleged he had held a gun to her head. A subsequent investigation showed these claims to be false as well. Kirsty Barr, 24 years of age, was jailed for close to 4 years after admitting her lies. After sentencing, homicide police said Ryan had gone through the most excruciating ordeal. But according to one charity that works with male victims of domestic abuse, it's not an uncommon story.
If you are in this position, please do reach out to friends, family, trusted work colleagues. There's a domestic abuse service near you that will help. And of course, please do go to the police.
So what's your hopes now?
Just to spread awareness, really. Not only my experiences, but just to get other people out there knowing about the story and gaining inspiration and strength to motivate them to not give up on their own journey.
With his own freedom and access to his child restored, Ryan now wants to move on with his life. But he has one final message to the woman who almost destroyed it.
Just why? Why did it come to this? I'm done with it. I want to move on. Don't know why I did it. I want to move on for the sake of our child.
Well, after Kirsty Barr was sent to jail last year, the police had this to say about Ryan's ordeal. We heard a bit of it in the report, but it is worth hearing again. And I quote, "He has been through the most excruciating and harrowing ordeal, being accused and depicted as a monster by a woman who had her own devious and malicious agenda to try and ruin his life." And the statement from Chief Superintendent Christine Wilson went on to say, Barr told her fabricated story to anyone who would listen, when in reality he was the one suffering a tirade of abuse. Well, I'm delighted to say that Ryan Kerrison is here with us now. Ryan, good evening to you. Have you wondered why the police themselves also clearly believed your ex-partner's lies for so long?
It has run through my mind quite a lot, actually, in these past few years. And I do believe part of that was me being a male in this, and obviously the perpetrator being the female.
And do you often hear stories where the male is not believed or is
All the time.
Really?
All the time, yeah. Especially now from my experiences, especially now on my TikTok account, I see a lot of males coming together, contacting me saying they don't get believed by the police, don't get believed by the CPS, don't get believed by pretty much anybody, really.
When the allegations were made, and this was in public by this woman, knowing that they were untrue, how did you feel?
I felt every day, waking up every day, it was like a massive weight on my shoulders. I felt like I was trapped. I felt like I was in prison again, even in my own home, in my own bedroom. I felt like I was in prison still. And having that on me, I felt so trapped and controlled.
Do you feel some satisfaction knowing that this woman is in prison and has been held now accountable for her actions?
Yeah, I do feel some sort of justice has been served. The whole point in my story now is helping others, and hopefully we will see more perpetrators being held accountable. So yes, I do feel justice has been served in one form or another.
And how do you feel about this woman?
End of the day, it is my child's mother, but the feelings are always going to be against her, negative feelings. I do try and separate that in benefit of my child, our child. But yeah, I'll never be able to forgive her. Never be able to forgive her for what she's done to me and my family.
You raised something interesting, you know, the custody of the child that you have at the moment. Is that situation going to stay like that?
As far as I'm aware, yes. The family court was very good with me and the case, to be fair. But as far as I'm aware, it's going to stay how it is at the moment. And when, you know, the perpetrator has been released from jail, I will be looking at contact still with our child, because it is our child. So it's important that
intolerable situation.
It is horrible, yeah, but I always say now it's not about me, it's about our child. And even now, this isn't about me, it's about helping other victims that are out there.
Well, that's what you're doing at the moment, and it's very, very brave of you to come in and to talk out, and it's a pleasure to meet you, Ryan. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, thank you, Pete.
Incredible story. Well, Ryan's experience highlights domestic abuse against a man by a woman. Well, I want to know if what you've heard changes your view on domestic abuse and the possibility that more men, perhaps even some men watching it tonight, are going through this at the moment, but not talking about it, not reporting it. I suppose for fear of not being believed by friends, family or the police. If you're in this situation tonight and you have a view or a comment, as I said at the start of the programme, if you want to be anonymous, you can. The email address is there, looknorth@bbc.co.uk. The text number 81333, 81333. Start the text with the word Look North, it will come straight to us. Or follow me on Twitter and tweet now. On the subject of domestic abuse, as I say, if you want to be anonymous, you can. I look forward to getting your comments. And if you or anyone you know has been affected by the topics raised in Ryan's story, then you can get in touch with the BBC Action Line. Just a reminder, bbc.co.uk Action Line, where there is advice and information about domestic abuse and other issues. There is the address. People